Yeah, dear students, in the continuation of previous video based on gas turbine, let us proceed for improvements in gas turbine cycle. That, as you know, there are three improvements. Yeah, these are gas turbine with regeneration, gas turbine with intercooling, and gas turbine with reheating. Dear students, we know already that for a simple Brayton cycle, efficiency is limited to 30%, and henceforth an improvement is required for this gas power cycle. So let us start with first gas turbine cycle with regeneration. Here the word given regeneration. So let us start based on your previous knowledge on open cycle or closed cycle gas turbine cycle. Here given atmospheric air is sucked by this compressor at point 1. After getting switched on this starter, compressor starts working. This air is compressed from point 1 to 2. So on TS diagram, it is compressed isentropically from 1 to 2. From 1 to 2 isentropic compression. After compression at point 2, this compressed air at high temperature goes to a regenerator or heat exchanger. Whereas in this regenerator or heat exchanger, there is a heat transfer from hot gas coming out from turbine. This heat is transferred from this hot gas to this compressed air, So this is the purpose of a regenerator, that is before going to this CC, that is combustion chamber, we are supplying hot air over here at this point. So this point is nothing but your point number 3. This point is 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then when this hot gas enters to this combustion chamber, we supply fuel to this combustion chamber, and the moment fuel is supplied to this hot air, it starts burning and high pressure is created in this combustion chamber, which is supplied. This hot gas at high pressure is supplied at point 4 to gas turbine. As you know, dear students, gas turbine is an expansion device where isentropic expansion takes place from 4 to 5. The point 3 is coming in between 2 and 5, that is in regeneration from 2 to 3. From 2 to 3, this air, compressed air, gets heated and temperature increasing from 2 to 3. So temperature increasing from 2 to 3. This is a TS diagram. Temperature increasing from this value to this value. Right. So now after expansion in gas turbine, that is in process 4 5, this this gas is supplied to this heat exchanger or regenerator, and after losing heat to this compressed air, it goes out at point 6. So if we consider this regenerator or heat exchanger 100%, right? It means fully heat is transferred from this hot gas to this compressed air. So at that time we can see, yes, temperature at point 6 should be equal to temperature at point 2. Temperature at point 6 is temperature at point 2. Similarly, temperature at point 5 should be equal to temperature at point 3. This hot gas is going out from turbine at temperature T5. This T5 temperature should be equal to at temperature 3 over here. So we can say, yes, this regenerator or heat exchanger having 100% effectiveness. This heat transfer takes place in this regenerator or heat exchanger, that is called, exchanger name is counter flow heat exchanger. Dear students, as we know, there are three types of heat exchangers: parallel flow, counter flow, and mixed flow heat exchanger. So this compressed air is moving in this direction and this hot gas is moving in opposite direction. So we see here compressed air moving in this direction and exhaust gas just opposite direction. So we can say it is a counter flow heat exchanger. Same heat transfer taking place in heat exchanger is shown over here. So now, dear students, let us go to calculate thermal efficiency of this regenerative gas cycle. So as a general fundamental, thermal efficiency is output, that is net work output, because turbine as well as compressor both are included over here. So net work is your turbine work minus compressor work divided by heat supplied to the system. So considering mass M, that is multiplied with Cp, and then temperature difference in turbine, that is T4 minus T5. Then for pump work, same mass M, same specific heat, and then T2 minus T1. T2 minus T1. Compressor is here, so T2 minus T1. For turbine, T4 minus T5. So T4 minus T5, and for compressor T2 minus T1. Right, now heat supplied T4 minus T3. We are supplying heat here only. We are supplying heat in combustion chamber only. So after entering, before entering to this combustion chamber at point 3, that fuel is injected, it burns, and then at point 4 we are getting highest temperature. So temperature difference is your T4 minus T3. So T4 minus T3, in this process only we supply heat. So henceforth written temperature difference T4 minus T3. So T4 minus T3 over here. So now, according to this TS diagram, we have seen that T5 T5 is equal to T3. T5 is equal to T3, which is written over here. T5 is equal to T3. So this equation will be reduced like this. Right? Now apply general fundamental equations for process 1, 2 during compression process. So we can write T2 upon T1 is equal to P2 upon P1 raised to power gamma minus 1. This P2 upon P1 is nothing but your compression ratio. So we can say compression ratio is your RP. So finally we can say for T2 it comes like this. Now this T2 is equal to T6 for compressor. Let us go to this diagram. T2 is equal to T6. We have seen already. T2 is equal to T6. T2 is equal to T6. Here it is your T2 after compression, and the exhaust air coming out from heat exchanger at 0.6. So if T2 and T6 are equal, we can say this is generator is having 100% efficient. So henceforth this T2 is written equal to T4. Similarly, T4 is equal to T5. You apply equation to process 4, 5, that is in expansion process 4 to 5. So according to that fundamental, the final equation T5 upon T4 should be written as P5 is equal to divided by P4 raised to power gamma minus 1 upon gamma. Right? And this P5, P4 occurring at this pressure and this pressure, that is your pressure ratio. So we can say T4 is equal to T5, and here it is. This T5 is equal to T5 is equal to T3. T5 is equal to T3. T5 is equal to T3 is mentioned over here. T5 is equal to T3 for a perfect heat exchanger. So this T5 is equal to T3 is mean for a turbine. So apply these two for compressor as well as turbine. Put the values in main equation of efficiency, right? And then we can get finally equations like this: T1 upon T3. Now T1 upon T3, put over here T4 here also, numerator side, and here numerator side also, right? Because your T4 will be getting cancelled, and then finally you can write T1 upon T4 is as it is here, and this becomes your pressure ratio RP. So we are interested to write efficiency of a regenerative gas cycle in terms of pressure ratio RP and minimum and maximum temperature, because T1 is minimum temperature and T4 is maximum temperature. So based on this equation, we can say to students that thermal efficiency will increase when pressure ratio decreases, because here written what minus. So when pressure ratio decreases, efficiency will increase, and at the same time temperature ratio T4 upon T1 should increase, right? So we can say when RP is equal to 1, pressure ratio is equal to 1, so efficiency will become like this, like this. So here T1 is your minimum temperature, T4 is equal to your maximum temperature. So if pressure ratio is equal to 1, we can get efficiency is equal to 1 minus T minimum divided by T max. Right? This becomes equal to Carnot efficiency. Carnot efficiency we know already. You might be knowing 1 minus TL upon TH. This is our Carnot efficiency. This TL is your low, TH is high. So T minimum is your low and T maximum is your the highest value. So we can say in this way regenerative cycle will be coming equal to Carnot cycle, and henceforth regeneration comes in picture to get improved efficiency value. So dear students, same thing is written over here in terms of now temperature, minimum maximum temperature, this pressure ratio, then T4 upon T1, and then what should be the value of pressure ratio in terms of maximum temperature and minimum temperature, because only these two parameters will be known, because T1 initial temperature, atmospheric temperature you can say available for air is known to us, and maximum temperature we can calculate if pressure ratio is already given to us. Gamma value is known to us for a working fluid, as you know for air it is 1.4. So now dear students, let us move to now second method for improvement, that is called gas turbine with intercooling. Dear students who might be knowing, intercooling comes in picture when there is a number of compressor more than one. So here it is layout of intercooling introduced in a gas turbine plant. So here, dear students, there are two compressors, C1 and C2. First, atmospheric air is sucked. It goes to this compressor 1, C1. It compresses from pressure 1 to 2, that is P1 to P2. So compression process, isentropic compression process is taking place over here. 1 to this 2 dash, right? Isentropic. If actual compression you go through this is your now 1 to 2. So this continuous line is mentioned for actual condition 1 to 2. 1 to 2 dash, this point is your 2 dash, that is theoretical compression, we call it isentropic compression. Now dear students, as you know, after compression temperature of air increases, and henceforth here we are getting air at higher value temperature. So this on TS diagram, this T2 dash is greater than T1, right? If you show for the actual one, it is T2. So here at point T2, hot air is supplied to this intercooler. Then what actually takes place in intercooler? Here there is a water comes from outside, it enters the intercooler. There is a heat transfer from this compressed air to this intercooler, and then this high pressure air but at low temperature. This is our main concept, that by introducing intercooler we should get air at high pressure but at low temperature. low temperature means that size would be reduced before going to next compressor, and henceforth intercooler is introduced. So dear students, now process 2 to 3, from here to here, it is intercooled. So that is, air is cooled now from temperature T2 to T3 in intercooler over here, and then air enters to compressor 2, that is C2 over here. Again that compressor compresses air from this lower pressure to further high pressure from point 3, which is mentioned over here, from point 3 to 4 dash, that is theoretical compression. We call it isentropic compression at point 4 dash, and the actual position due to friction and others, it is shifted from 4 dash to 4 over here. So actual compression we can say that is 3 to 4. Process 3 to 4 is actual compression. Now after compressing in compressor 2, this compressed air is supplied to combustion chamber CC, where in fuel is supplied to combustion chamber and then it burns inside the combustion chamber. So heat addition takes place in combustion chamber only, that is in process 4 to 5. So that is in process 4 to 5 combustion of fuel takes place. So process 4-5 heat addition process we can say, and after burning in combustion chamber at point 5, at the outlet of combustion chamber, we get air at very high pressure and temperature as well. So it enters to this turbine which produces power. As you know, turbine is an expansion device. So then power is produced by the turbine, WT we call it, and remaining power supplied to run this compressor as well as this compressor. That's why all these three components, C1, C2 and turbine, are coupled in a single shaft. Now this net work, that is turbine work minus WC1 and plus WC2. This could be your net work, that is we call it WS shaft work, which is used for our purpose to run a machine or to run a vehicle or to run any other shaft. So this is our intercooling with gas turbine. Now we have seen in case of compressor for perfect intercooling. When this intercooler is perfect, this intercooler is perfect, what could be the intermediate pressure? Because you see, this is your pressure P1, whereas air enters to compressor, it is compressed from 1 to 2, then it is cooled down in regenerative, again it is compressed from 3 to 4. So this P2, intermediate pressure for a perfect intercooler, it comes as under root P1 into P3, right? So we should remember, for a perfect intercooling, intermediate pressure P2 should come equal to under root P1 and P3. Then work of compression in two-stage compressor, that is in first compressor and shape of compressor summation. So for unit mass of air, we can write Cp T2 minus T1 plus T4 minus T3. And for turbine work, we have already seen expansion process taking place in process 5-6. So written T5 minus T6. And henceforth, net work output or shaft work, that is turbine work minus total compressor work, right? And then, dear students, heat supplied, because for calculating efficiency denominator part is required, so heat supply that is taking place in combustion chamber only, so that is your T5 minus T4 with single mass of air, so m is 1. Cp remains constant throughout, henceforth Cp comes everywhere. So then finally you can calculate efficiency, that is shaft work divided by heat supplied. It comes like this. Put all the values mentioned over here, so we can get efficiency of a gas turbine with intercooler like this. Now in next video, dear students, we will go for gas turbine with reheating.